Hello, I'm Rex, and welcome to Babel Planet. Trying to talk totally typical topics tends to turn tediously tiresome, and thus, at times, we innovate. We take a speech and give it a new form, sometimes remaking it into a new face. We take words out of their element like worms, and make them prettier by switching them from place. We twist, we change, we hit and tap, and that becomes rhythm and verse and sometimes rap, and we create. Because language is a tool of expression, we use it constantly, and that derives in turn so interesting, so instantly we make it a new version of itself, like how the Norse turned a fairy into an elf, greater in beauty, in power and in strength. Thus we are poets, all of us, and I'm not saying something like this just because, that's what the study of poetics calls a fact. But let's backtrack. What exactly is a poem? Have I met one? Have you? How many of them? The truth is that we cannot know that, because every text is one however light. And if you think rhyming is a requirement, you're mistaken. Who told you that? They're only faking. The oldest poem we know of didn't rhyme, it alliterated. Don't you know what that is? Go back to the first sentence that I stated. You make the first letter of all words that the same. Does that sound lame? Not at all, if done correctly. Many cultures use it greatly. Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven uses it to an extent. Discontent? Do you think it don't make sense? Listen to this. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this and nothing more. Okay then, I stand corrected, you may say, but your statement still adds to my dismay. Am I trying to make you mad? That I'm not. I just want to make you see that a rhyme is just a tool. For a poet, verse is free. But alright, you want to stick to the classics? Well then let me educate you on the Japanese basics. The problem with rhymes here is that they would be so tall, since the verb in a Japanese sentence goes at last, most lines in a poem would end with dearimasu, making it null. In poetry you wanna make linguistic magic. So what do you do when this is relatively tragic? Simple, you change the shape. Build your poetry around moras, that's a brilliant escape. Now you have new formulas like the haiku and the tanka. It won't sound like Miss Pac-Man just repeating waka waka. Make the theme follow a scheme of 57577, throw some kanji and make it pretty. Brush painting will make it heaven. So the Japanese ignore rhyme and build their poetry around meter. And you might believe that saying that makes me a cheater. Well, the truth is, there are elements like rhythm that, though not as known, have a brilliant algorithm of their own. Ever read the Bible? You know, the story of Jesus? Well, the writers of the songs wouldn't want to just tease us, so they used another method called parallelisms. This is when a sentence takes the structure of another. This is why a poet like David would call you a brother. See what I did there? That's an English thing too. It's not Churchill himself did it. Rolling quote number 2. The inherent vice of capitalism is the unequal sharing of blessing. The inherent virtue of socialism is the equal sharing of miseries. Isn't it beautiful? Of that structure of quotes, English is plentiful, so don't be juvenile. Nothing of what I have said yet here is incredible. By the way, this latter verse had no real rhymes, something that we call assonance passes for rhyming at times. That's when the vowels of two words are similar enough that, if well applied, finding the difference is tough. Isn't that witchery? You could think after hearing this lovely trickery, but let me tell you, it's not. It's just that our brains obviate the difference cause it's hot. So if after all I've said so far you're still skeptic, here's a list of tools that make such thought beyond eccentric. But instead, and before this beat escapes my head, I'll tell you what I read. It doesn't matter the shape that words take, as long as someone finds beauty in it. Poetry can never be fake. It's so relative and easy to make. You can talk about anything, the topic doesn't matter. It can be simple or fancy, though I'd rather have the latter. Still though, that is just my opinion, and you don't have to follow it unless you're my minion. Poetry is just a medium, another form of art, and as such, making what's most popular won't make you smart. So I hope you won't again judge an artist like before, because prejudice always results in less art, never more. Whoa, that was a hard one. I hope you enjoyed that little experiment. In the next video, we'll talk about why translation is harder than it looks. If you wanna learn more language related stuff, subscribe to this channel and follow me on Twitter and Tumblr to follow up and get links to amazing stuff for learning languages. If you subtitled all this rambling, first, thank you, second, you're awesome, and third, put your name here to get credit. Thank you for watching, cheers to you all!